Do you want to know how to get green fingers and the very best out of your garden? Then watch Garden Time with Serdar ARAPOÞLU and Sue Ghazi on Ada TV on Saturdays at 3 p.m. and repeated on Sundays at 12 noon. Garden Time, North Cyprus's favourite English language gardening programme.
This program is sponsored by Mediterranean Garden Centre, who give advice every week to help you with the jobs in your garden.
Hello and welcome to Garden Time with Serdar ARAPOÐLU. My name's Sue Ghazi and welcome Serdar.
Hello Sue, thank you.
And today we're going to be talking about summer in the garden.
Yes, in this hot weather we start to affect the garden this weather. So we start to choose the kind of the plants is okay for the garden. So today we're going to talk in this weather what we need to do and what kind of the plants and the flowers we need to choose in the garden. And we're going to choose different areas in the garden. For example, front garden.
Yeah.
What we need to do for the front garden. This is the subject we're going to talk today.
Yeah, because of course temperatures have reached almost 40 degrees, haven't they, at the moment?
Yes, and still hot weather, more hot weather is coming.
Yes.
Yes. I believe it's very difficult at the moment, the garden. So as much we choose in the evening times as well, it's affecting the plants. They're not very happy for this weather.
Yeah.
And almost if the garden settles down, maybe we don't have much trouble because the garden is settled down and you can take care of it. You can carry on with this hotness. But the new plants and of course the trees and everything is hard time at the moment. We don't suggest much, but still, if you still want to do something about it and you want to plant something, we have to choose the right plants, and we have to choose exactly in the daytime what is the time is going to be cold time, evening time, to plant them. And of course, the regularly watering is important these days.
That is important, isn't it?
Choosing the very shade time to water them regularly until they settle down.
Yes.
After settle down, they will be okay.
Yeah, because of course up till now, we've planned the garden, and so at the moment, the garden's settled down. There should be no problems. But like you say, if we're going to start introducing new plants or new trees or whatever, especially at this time of year when it's very hot, we have to be careful.
Yeah, we have to be careful and we have to follow right things to do. Yes. We can make the old soil softer to mix it with the compost. I suggest to use the gels to make it wet all the time.
That's a good idea actually, because you can get these gels which when you mix with the soil and you water it, it expands, doesn't it? And so, the plants have more moisture there.
Yeah.
So it does help.
Yeah, the roots stay more wet.
Yes.
And of course, even if you water it every evening, still it is enough hot to burn the roots. So this gel keep the wet and help the plants to settle down very easily.
Yes.
It is important. Of course, the plants we're going to choose at the moment is the Vincas, the popular.
Yes, they're very, very colourful, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah, we use Titanic seats.
Yeah.
This Vincas there's different kind of them.
Yes.
And there is one standard one, which is the normal standard. They regularly every year they come in, and this is the season ones. And of course, these ones is two different ways there as well. One is called Pacific, another one is called Titan.
Right.
They are Titan, and these ones is difficult to get the sickness like fungus, because after you put it in the garden, you will see sometimes they are getting fungus and everything. These ones is a stronger ones. They okay for the Mediterranean countries, and of course we choose in the very special colors as well. And with this way, this hot weather, you can be comfortable about it.
Well, that's good to know, actually, because, like you say, in this hot, scorching weather, at least now we can, choose plants which have lots of colour. They're very, very bright, aren't they? Very pretty.
They are very pretty, and of course, as soon as you plant them in the area, you will see the completely area is changing.
Right, they spread out a bit.
Yeah, they are. They are, and you can also plant them like a same color, or either you can plant them with the mixed color, and they will when they will settle down, they will tell you we are here. That much they look perfect, of course. And cactuses is always hot weathers. We are always saying the cactuses is good. You can do the cactus corner. Either you can put them in the pots and do design with them. Yeah. And of course, there's a leaf cactuses as well. For example, they are good design as well at the moment. So if you are really want to plant at this time of the year, you have to choose the summer flower. You have to choose the cactus style plants. This kind of or you can plant as much the pot flower at the moment, because in the pots you have a chance to move it. You have a chance to very hot times to move it under the shade, which is when the weather comes normal, you can always bring them out. You can do very nice design with the pots as well.
That's a good idea, actually, because you can change the appearance of the garden, can't you, just by moving some of the pots and some of the different kinds of flowers that you have.
As much you can choose to light the pots. You can see this one, very, very popular at the moment, and it's not heavy. It's not ceramic, it's plastic.
So it's easy to move around.
Easy to move. Modern design is here as well, modern design. And of course, very light to carry it. And as you can see, you can do nice decoration with it as well.
It is, it's a good variety here, isn't it? You've got different shades of leaves, you've got different colours, and yet you've got the bright flowers as well. So it's a good contrast,
green,
isn't it?
Yes, green on the back, and the flower is there, hanging is there, and the leaves color is different as well. So exactly what you said, good contrast.
And I mean, it's only 4 different plants, isn't it?
Yes.
But you've got all that contrast, and just sort of think, in a week or two when they've bushed out a little bit, you're going to have a beautiful feature there.
It's already looking nice.
And what I like about the cacti, actually, is that, there are so many different varieties of cactus. Some of them flower, some of them are very quick growing, some of them take a very long time, some of them are hairy, some of them very prickly. So
snow looking as well.
So there's always a good variety of cactus.
Cactus, always you can use the rock as well, and these balls.
These are very interesting, actually. I know you've had them before, haven't you, these clay
This
balls?
one is finishing the job, of course. Especially with the cacti, they look nice. And of course, the little big rock, even you can see how big difference is making. And it's finishing the job. You can make the largest pots as well, and they look nice. You can use the different style. This is just a little example for the studio. But there's a ways you can design them, different ways, or either you can use your garden and make it cactus corner.
You could, couldn't you? You could have a little place where it's nice and sunny and
Yes, you can
have
do
a proper
that.
cactus garden. Can you tell us, please, what these balls are for again? Are they for, do they have fertiliser inside them, or are they for keeping the weeds?
They have, if you see the soil here, is a little different. They have cactus soil, and of course these balls on the top. This cactus soil is making they giving them more iron and potassium to keep them dark green
I see.
and healthy,
Yeah.
of course. And even if you don't water it oftenly, which is cactuses, they don't need much of watering, but still with this soil, and it has little bit gel inside as well.
I see.
And this way, you can leave them without watering long time.
Ah, that's what it was. I know that you've brought them before.
Yes.
And you can see just how green these cactus are. I mean,
Yes.
they're very dark
and these
green,
balls
aren't
also holding the water
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
and they give in the slowly for the plant.
they? Ah,
This
so
is what
that's,
it is. Yes.
yeah, so that's making life easy for us.
Yes, there.
Yeah.
That's the way. Yes.
Yes.
And of course we have bonsai here, which is again always bonsai pots is special, is very narrow,
That's it, yes.
and of course this way the roots, it doesn't go too deep, and as much as the roots touching, they always plant stay in bush.
Yeah.
This is the way they doing it. Of course, to shaping this, they shaping and they hanging with the metals and everything.
That's it. They use wire, don't
Yeah.
they, to twist it round and to design
Exactly.
the
And
trunks
later,
there.
when is the shaping, they start to keep cutting it
Yeah.
to not to give the chance to go higher.
Yeah.
And this is how is the bush bonsai is coming out. Of course, if you transfer this to bigger pots, there is no way you can control this to stay the bush.
That's
So
it,
that's why this is very narrow.
Yeah.
Of course. In this case, you will say, okay, how this plant lives with that much narrow. Again, the soil is very special, and this is need special take care of it, and you cannot leave this days and days without watering. Straight away, this is dries.
Really?
So every day, regularly, you need to water this, and regularly you need to vitamin this, look after it, to cut in the long ones, to not to give the chance to go higher. Otherwise, it's not calling anymore bonsai.
So, how old is this bonsai tree, approximately, do you think?
This one roughly is 7 years.
7 years old,
yes.
and it's only, what, 30
Yes.
centimetres or
Yes.
so, isn't
Yeah.
it?
But this is ficus bonsai, of
Yeah.
course, the bush ficus. There is also, you can see the bonsai ficus, but still very long. They are normal standard ficus bonsai.
Yes.
But this one, because it's the ficus trees, they are at separate branches as well.
Yeah.
So this is ficus, but bush ficus,
Yeah.
which is coming with the small plant.
It's very interesting as well. I mean, you've got all the marks here on the little trunks, and you know the way it's sort of bushed out here.
It's making the plant more natural.
It's beautiful, isn't
Yeah,
it? And
it
so
is.
green. Look at that. You've been
It's
taking
nice.
good care of that one.
Yes, we have to. We have to look after them very well.
Yeah, it's beautiful,
And
isn't it?
otherwise, later, a little bit, you can stay a little bit yellow here, just little.
Yeah.
This means it's telling you is need little bit iron vitamin.
Yeah,
So you have to, what we say, the plants always speaking to you.
that's it. Yeah.
So you have to understand the languages about them and
yeah.
give them what they want, of course.
So, would you water it from the bottom here, or would you water it from the top?
Yes, there's two ways. The way we use,
Yeah.
we always put the water in the bucket,
Yeah.
and we just couple minutes to drop it inside. This is the way this is the plenty water way to water it.
Right.
With this way, we can give them enough water,
Yeah.
and of course, but have to be the soil is being settled down.
Right.
If it's the new transfer plants, as soon as you put in the bucket, the
all
soil
gonna
is going to come
isn't it?
out.
Yeah.
So you have to wait. You have to water it the regularly, normal way until the soil is settled down, and then afterwards you can always put in the pot. And this way, if you water it in the pot, the bucket is the best way to water it.
Well, that's interesting actually, because I suppose you can get different kinds of bonsai trees as well.
There is so many, so many, and you know, in Japan they doing like art. This is like more than hobby. This is like a unbelievable style they doing it there. So of course they just working with the art bonsais there.
It's very unusual, isn't it? And something very different that you could have outside, maybe even.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
on the balcony. Or,
there is ways of course. There is way also to plant the bonsai in the garden. Either you can plant it with the pots, you keep in the pots, and you cover it until here, or either you take it from the pot and you put under the base, concrete base.
So it can't get more roots?
Yes, the roots cannot go on the soil, so the plant is not growing this way.
I see,
Stay bonsai.
Yeah.
So if you like to have the design in the garden, this is the way.
Well, it's very unusual, isn't it? Nice to see that.
Yes.
And I noticed, Serdar, that you've also got some African violets here.
Yes.
They're one of my favourites.
They are okay for the hot weather, but not full sun.
So they want to be in shaded areas?
Shaded area, but
shade?
as much hot it is, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So, but shaded areas.
So, can you leave these outside as well? Because I know that in England we've got them as house plants, but can they live outside as well, or do they need to be inside?
No, as long as it's not all day under the sun, they can live outside on the balcony, shade area, and if it's not too windy as well. Because first thing, you have to be careful about the sun. A second, wind is affecting these plants.
Oh, I see.
So that way you can leave them outside.
Yeah. And I mean, you can see that you've got different colours of these
There's
as well.
There's so many colours. There's double colour as well, but I brought a couple standard one in studio today.
Yeah.
So we love them, this country. We use them a lot on our gardens. So just some example.
Yeah.
And then there is another subject we're going to talk today is the front garden, of course.
Yeah.
We like our gardens, and we like when design to make it different. But sometimes we are making mistake. We are thinking to make the block the house and to make privacy, or maybe we are fruit lovers and you put sometimes fruit trees in the front. This is kind of the couple's mistakes always we see around.
Yeah.
So when I say we, I'm talking about the generally, of course. And what's happening is this time you just come to garden. Doesn't matter how much nice on the back garden. As soon as you break the point on the front, you're disappointed about the front. The rest is not covering it.
Yeah, because I know in your article you mentioned that having a nice front garden, it's welcoming, isn't it? It welcomes you to the rest of the garden.
Exactly what I mentioned there as well.
Yeah.
And of course, is the first look. Sometimes you say first look love, and this is kind of the garden love. When you look the first, you just giving the point that minute as soon as you walk in.
Yeah.
So if you use different colorful plants, of course, and you watch out the hires, you watch out not to mix them together and make it the mess. Of course, just simple, nice, colorful design, and maybe you can use some rocks, maybe you can use some artificial grass to make it a little bit greener. But that way, if you are impressed with people when they first look, then the rest is finishing the garden, of course.
That's true, isn't it? And again, it's all in the planning, isn't it? Because, as with our spring garden, we've got different plants for springtime, but then, of course, when it's summer and the hot weather, we've got to choose plants like
bright
vincas
bright
and
ones.
you know, the other ones which are good under hot conditions.
Yeah, this is for hot conditions. You can choose this time, but there is also the regularly ones, which is you can always find the room for the jasmine in the front garden.
Oh, of course, and especially at nights, that's lovely, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, the scent of
And
jasmine.
even the people, when they pass by, they can see the jasmine, they can feel the smell and everything.
You can smell it before you see it, can't you, when
Yes.
you're walking around?
And this is good.
Yeah,
This is good. There is another plant, Pakistan Nights, which is you can always find a room for that one as well. Frangipani is the one of the best.
Oh, it's lovely,
At the
isn't it?
moment, there is a color ones as well. You can find them, the red and the yellow, the other color, pink color, light pink, dark pink, is coming out at the moment. But they are not stronger smell and the scent as much as the standard ones, the original ones.
Yeah, I haven't
white.
seen the coloured ones
Yeah,
yet.
they look nice. They smell a little bit, but not as much the original ones.
Yeah,
But the looking
yeah.
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So with this way, you can make your front garden is nice, perfect, nice looking. Then when you automatically when you look the front garden, you will say I make this. So you have to bring the finishing
Yeah.
as much as the front garden as well.
That's it, because it's a welcome, isn't it? It's
It
a
is.
welcome for people when they come into the home.
Even the people sometimes passing through, and it sounds that you're inviting them with your garden inside.
That's true,
So this is good.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand the privacy is important as well, but there is a limit. There is a ways still you can do the very narrow hedging, or maybe bush trees, not to cover everywhere, just enough to give you little privacy. I think will be enough.
Yeah, even the path can sort of, wind around a little bit. It doesn't have to be direct, does it? So, it can be a little bit private.
Yeah, a little bit curves and private will be nice, of course.
Yeah. And of course, then there's the planting of the flowers, isn't there? Like you've always said, it's the smaller flowers at the front. I mean, you could have things like marigolds or those kind of flowers, maybe in a block, have it nice and colourful. And then behind it, you've got the taller shrubs. I know in your article you mentioned one of the flame shrub, didn't you?
Yes, there is.
So
it's so nice at the moment. They start the flower, especially the August time, and they look unbelievable. They look fantastic.
Like they're on fire.
On fire. You can always arrange the lights just to give them little bit lights, and with that way even you can catch that ambience on the night time as well, and perfect looking.
Yeah. And I know you've always sort of said as well, near the home it's nice to have scented flowers, lavender, for example.
Yes. We always saying when you look the garden first, and you have to get color, you have to get enough privacy, trees to make the cover, we're saying.
Yeah.
Because this is like if you look your garden as a picture, you have to have some covers like a behind, and this is what is trees for. And of course the finishing is sand. So most important things is the sand as well.
Yeah.
We have to make sure we have sand in the garden, and of course when is the flowers is there, not only for the summertime. We have to choose each of the season. Maybe springtime you're gonna see the color in your garden, autumn time and the winter time as well.
Yes.
So you can always make the different plants. They can plant different season, which is not making your garden emptying flower.
Yeah, again, it's in the planning, isn't it?
It is.
And I know that, if people need any advice, for what kind of flowers to plant during which season, they can always come down to Mediterranean Garden Centre or contact you, can't they?
Yeah, they can contact to us, and of course, what chance we have our garden center is difficult on the phone or just the email to explain, but for the eye to see it straight away, life is always easier to explain and show the examples
Exactly.
Of course,
Yes.
we can always show the plan what they are, and then we can show our examples designs as well.
Yes.
So which is we have designs to tell them this is the plant, which gardens and what area we use this plants.
And that's important as well, because you might sort of think, oh, I'll buy one of those plants and I can plant it here, but actually that might not be the best place for it.
Yes.
So, you know, with someone's expertise, you know, like yours at the garden centre, you know, you can help people choose the right plants.
Yeah, we always explain there what kind of the plants, which is the plant, what area. And of course, depends of your house position as well.
Yes.
You might have house in the high area, which is on the mountain or hills area.
Yeah.
Which is, with that area, you have to choose the plants which is hardy ones. Okay for the wind, okay for the strong weathers and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they are definitely, summertime is being hotter, and the winter time is being the colder.
That's true. Yeah.
And more rain there, more wind there, and everything.
Yes, and then I suppose you've got people who live sort of nearer the coast, and so the air there is more salty, isn't it? Or maybe even the ground is more salty.
We did talk about this last programs, which is about the grass.
Yeah.
If they have the house and the garden near the sea area, they have to choose the kind of the grass which is okay for the soil.
Yeah.
Same things, they can always choose the plants with the sea areas, which is there's a plants which is especially these ficus ones, they're okay for the salty area.
Right.
They're okay for the salt water.
Yeah, they're very hardy then.
They are very hardy. There's a pittosporum, there is a marigold, different plants, different flowers, which is okay for the salty water.
Yeah.
And of course, we're saying again that there is a grass as well. It's okay for the salty water.
Yeah, it's very useful to know. And I know in your article, Serdar, this week, you mention fencing as well, don't you? You know, wooden fencing, and you know, that can be important in the garden as well, can't it?
We make at the moment we make different kind of the fencing.
Right.
We use the decan, and we design the end of the garden, the fencing with the decan, but we design them nice shaping, and of course the way we design it afterwards, you can do hanging basket on it.
Ah.
And with this way, it's looking fantastic. Of course,
bet it does. Yeah.
Yeah, it's look fantastic, and it's different. It's different because when you look around, we always saying is all houses has stone defense and stone walls.
Yeah.
And this is getting fed up when you look.
Yeah.
Of course, you can mix some climbers and some trees and some hedging plant with always the stone, but still, end of the day, everywhere is the stone walls.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
and I mean,
the fencing.
Yeah, wooden fencing, it adds some more naturalness to the garden, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit more maintenance, of course. Yeah, but as you said, more natural looking, and another things different.
Yeah.
When this is like when you see this country's grass and the green, you will say, oh, and this is kind of the things as well. You see all of a sudden different, and of course you're saying, yes, it's big different.
Yes.
We start to do, of course, artificial grass defense as well.
Yeah.
That's another things we start to do. We are doing the many years design for the artificial grass, and this year we started doing the defensive for the artificial grass as well. Still slowly, but as the example is come out, and they see the examples and they see what color, and you just seeing the green all the time there, and of course no maintenance as well, and especially these hot weathers, and you start saying and you keep complain about my plants is thirsty, you don't have water, and you worry about them. This artificial defense is getting important as well.
Yeah, I mean, and the low maintenance means that you can spend more time in the garden, doesn't it? And you have less worry. So
that's more important things. You see this last year, all defense hedging plants, most of them is gone. Because the mealybugs problem, it was the new, and until people, the gardeners, they understand this mealybugs, how much trouble is going to give for the garden, and until find the right chemical to stop this, so many hedging plant is gone.
Really?
It is. This is what's happened last year. Yeah. We did find the right chemical from the beginning. We find the right chemical from the beginning, but until the garden lovers, until they find us, it's not too late.
That's true, because I know at Mediterranean Garden Centre, you know, you're qualified to deal with all these chemicals and pesticides, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah. We have that experience. We know what was the problem. We make a couple programs about this. Yeah. Even on the Turkish programs also we make about this. But still sometimes we are all saying people, we don't see in front of us what it is, and sometimes we are looking for the solution the far areas, and you're missing the points. That's what's happening. Yeah. Until they come us and they find us and we start to sort out the problem, most of them is gone, of course.
Oh, what a shame. And it's difficult to replace hedging as well, isn't it? You know, when it's grown quite tall.
Yeah. This is happening especially for the Miaforum hedging plant. Mostly, of course, it was started doing the Pittosporum because they were thinking only the Miaforum plant it was doing this. Later you will see it's happened on the hibiscus plant, and it just started happening all over the plant.
Really?
Yes.
On all of them?
All of them, yes. Gosh. If you don't, they find especially which plants is always and often giving the branches, and the fresh leaves is always there. They choosing that plant is the best.
Right, so that's
and
what they're looking for.
When they finishing them, they just, what is the next one is there, they just jump in there.
Right, so they can go from one plant to the next then?
It is.
It's not just one kind of plant which is involved, it can be any
after the best one, after the new branches often coming one, they just choosing the next one. Yeah. This is what's happened. Yeah. So of course, always we saying the first time and the right chemical spraying is the best things to do. Yeah. You can always stop that. Is not only mealybugs, the soil worms. It was trouble for the Miaforum as well. Yeah. We did give the example. They were spraying on the top, but the worms it was eating the roots, and until they find it and they find the right or find us until it was time, and half of the plant it was gone. Oh, so of course, yes, of course, always they very welcome to get some experience about this, and they can always ask, email, telephone, whatever. They're very welcome.
Yeah. And thank you, Serdar, for coming into the studio and explaining all about the plants and about how to build a welcoming garden. And I noticed in your article you mentioned that it's nice to sit there in the warmth in your garden with a glass of cold lemonade.
Yes.
Now, I hope that lemonade is from your own trees as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, as I'm going to say again, this weather, of course, the summer garden is exciting everybody because of the color and everything. But still, please watch out the sun.
Yes, be very careful. The temperatures are very, very hot, and it's advisable to wear a hat and put sunscreen on if you're out for any length of time.
Choose the evening times is the best.
That's
Good
true.
Gardening again.
Yeah. Enjoy your week in the garden. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
This program is sponsored by Mediterranean Garden Centre, who give advice every week to help you with the jobs in your garden.
Garden irrigation, comfortable and water-saving with water computers from Gardena. For example, with the Easy Control, a simple entry into automatic garden irrigation. Convenient to operate. Watering duration, watering frequency and watering time can be set easily, even without operating instructions. Thus, your garden is always perfectly watered, even if you are away from home. The water computers are rainproof and extremely resistant to pressure. The Gardena Select Control with practical programming suggestions. Especially innovative, choose between 5 preset programs which you can modify as needed. To each Gardena water computer, you can connect a rain or a soil moisture sensor, so your plants get only irrigated if necessary. The Multi-Control Duo doubles your possibilities. It is able to irrigate 2 garden areas individually. Programming is extremely simple thanks to the extra-large display. Without any effort on your part, your flowers are irrigated and your plants get the desired amount of water automatically. Our top models for demanding users. With the Master Control, you can individually adjust up to 6 irrigation programs. On-screen instructions lead you through the different programming steps. Also available with solar panel for a battery-free operation. Full control for the perfect irrigation of your garden. Gardena water computers. Reliable, water-saving and easy to handle. Gardena Multi-Channel Control. The right choice if you want to control more complex systems with several watering lines, reliably and conveniently. Watering by hand is a thing of the past, with the comfortable irrigation controls from Gardena.
What is it you're really looking for in your garden? A unique connection with nature? A place of endless possibilities? Whatever it is, we have what you need. The all-new durable Gardena hoses with power grip, comfortable handling, optimal hold, and the perfect connection to the original Gardena system.